What's up, YouTube? Pastor Bob. So, a subscriber reached out to me, was wondering about tops and, you know, what's the difference between tops and the thicknesses and what makes a guitar worth more. And I was like, I'll just do a video and I'll show you some tops. So, I got 3 sets of tops here, and these 3 are unique, and all 3 of them are figured. So, these are figured tops. These are not flamed. These are not bird's eye. These are not quilted. These are figured. And they're all 3 different. The most unique one is the one you're looking at. Now, if you look, there's an outline from the guy who actually sold this set to me. What he thought was good. What most builders would use, right? As a top. Well, me, on the other hand, I'm looking at this part here and I'm saying, oh, that would look kind of cool at the bottom of a Les Paul or a Telly. I kind of like the way that figuring looks, right? I mean, that's pretty nice. I can extend this ear out. All I have to do is take the measurement once I get done jointing these pieces together. Once I get them lines jointed right, then I can take the distance from this side to here, up here, make a point, then measure the distance across here. And I can come in here on this side and I can get an iron, a burning iron, or a soldering iron, and I can burn that color in there to where it contrasts each other and it matches each other. So, and I've done that before on different pieces, and then fill in these holes right here. I'll just use some epoxy and fill those holes in. I think that would look really neat. There's a lot of figuring down here. I mean, I still got to run it through my planer and paint it down and everything, so it's a long ways away, but I think that will be really nice. That'll be a really, really nice top. So, that's one top. Here's another, which can be used as a back or a top. It's kind of bland, but it's little tricks to getting, the best out of wood. I mean, it really depends on your color scheme and how you're going to color them, If you're going to use red and black, you're going to do a 2-tone or 3-tone. You can get more out of your wood the more you look at it. So sometimes, you got to look at it and then you got to leave it alone for a while and come back to it, because sometimes you don't see exactly what you're looking for. And there's no sense cutting something if you don't know or you don't see what you're looking for. And then this last piece is really figured. It's really unique. Kind of looks like a head up there. See it? See the head? Kind of looks like a goblin's head or something. Pretty neat, huh? All kinds of nice figuring in here. And, once I plane this down and I sand it down, and then I'll wet it again, kind of looks like some of these arms here. See it? See? Some arms here, a chest here, and a head here. A trip, huh? That's trippy. I don't know, that's what I see. Anyways, there's always all kinds of stuff that you can see in wood. And, most luthiers or guitar builders, that's what they do. They're always looking for something cool. I don't know. Sometimes you see bunny rabbits, devils, angels, all kinds of different stuff that's you can find in wood. It's really unique. I mean, you got to be looking for it, though, But you can look on one side and it looks one way, and then you look on the other side and it don't even look like the two boards, came from each other. So, you got to really make sure you know what you're looking at. That's for sure. Take your time. Hey, it's fun. I tell everybody, hey, if you've never built a guitar, the best thing to do is get an old junk one from like a yard sale for $50, $100, something like that. Something that's, worth fixing. Take it apart. Learn what makes it tick. Sand it down, See how they did it. And go from there. Buy some books, watch some videos. There's lots of great luthiers out there, master luthiers out there, who teach you, the basic principles behind guitar building. And there's all kinds of different musical instruments that you can get into, But I say start off with a solid body to start off with. They're pretty much the easiest to do. And then, advance yourself from there, go to like a ukulele and try a ukulele out. And then from there, maybe, a classical guitar or an acoustic guitar. If you're going to get into classical guitars and acoustic guitars, you really need to understand about, voicing guitars and how to brace it and where to put your tone bars and, how to sand properly and how to take down your backs and your sides properly, what different species work best with each other. I mean, you can use all kinds of different woods. You don't have to use, just the basic woods that everybody else is using. Some people say, oh, you got to use big leaf. Oh, some people say, oh, you got to use bear claw or Adirondack spruce that was, stuck in a river for 4,962 years. Look, no, you can use anything. You can just go down to Home Depot and buy some pine. I mean, when Leo Fenders first started building the Telecaster, it was made out of pine. They were pine bodies, and they sound great, and they're worth buku dollars. So, try something different, Why not? Maybe you'll score. Maybe you'll write down something in a little book and you'll learn a little trick of the trade somewhere along the line that none of the rest of us have figured out yet. And help us all out. Look, one thing about most of your humble luthiers, they love learning something new, and they love it when a buddy figures something out or a little trick to the trade, right? Something that saves them a little money or a little time. That's what it's all about. When you get too big of a head and you let your pride stick out there when you're guitar building and other people, you snuff your nose up at other people, other guitar luthiers and builders, look, word spreads fast about people's attitudes like that. Because we really don't want those type of people around. Now, I'm sure, there's people like that like to hang out with each other. They snuff the, not so popular luthier, because he ain't making $1 million a year or whatever, I don't believe in that. I believe we can learn from each other, can have a lot of fun, sometimes, create some unique things and share our ideas and our experience with each other. I think that that's really important. So, anyways, I hope this was informative. I mean, pretty cool looking stuff. I got a long ways to go. But, most of your thickness of your boards are, around 1/4 inch, rough. And then, I don't know, depending on what you're doing with the top, whether it's flat top or whether you're doing contour or what have you, sometimes it can be a different thickness. Everybody's a little bit different in how they build guitars and how they voice their guitars and, what kind of species they're using when they're working together. So I tell you, go out there and watch other people's videos. See who best fits you, who you can learn best from, and, enjoy the hobby or profession. If you want to, get into the profession, I would suggest maybe look into the Michigan School of Luthiers. They have a really good course up there. At least they did back years ago. There's all kinds of great luthiers out there. There's some great teachers out there in Texas. There's some really good ones up in Canada. I mean, they're everywhere. If you want to go and learn about building guitars. Now, if you want to learn about wood species and craftsmanship and how to use the tools, there's plenty of guys out there that can teach you the basic skills that you need about hand tools or power tools, because you may want to go out and build these things, but you need the basics first. If you don't understand tools and how to use the tools properly, how to keep them sharp, you know, which way to use the tool is correctly and which way is not, the maintenance and upkeep of those tools, the basics, the basic principles of anything to do with building a musical instrument need to be known first. If you don't understand the basic principles, then I would tell you, you know, don't put the cart before the horse. Learn those things, maybe you can go to a local college, community college where they're giving woodshop classes and teach you the basic principles of the types of tools that you'll need in order to start this journey. That's where I'd tell you to begin. And, unless you know that you really want to pour your heart and soul into it, you don't need to buy the most expensive tools there is. Start out with the basic tools. There's probably pretty much a lot of different places that you can go, but StewMac would be a good place that you could go for reference, where they have plenty of videos that would teach you the basic tools that you would need for guitar building. But I would tell you, if you can and you can afford it, and to go to a local college, or maybe even, a guy down the street that might, he might not be professional, but he might have built a few guitars and, learned a lot over the years, and, he's kind of got it down, even that, telling you, I mean, you'd be surprised what people will do for you if you just ask. It is fun. It does take up a lot of time when you really get involved in building guitars. I tell you, I worked on guitars for 2 years before I finished guitars. You know, the worst thing to do is ever let a guitar out and you're not sure about it. You want to make real sure before you sell a guitar for a lot of money that it's done properly. It's not like just fixing any run-of-the-mill guitar. Doing a quick buff job, or doing a quick, fret level and crowning, and a quick setup. It's not the same as building a full-fledged guitar that maybe the lumber alone costs you $2,000. And believe it or not, I've seen some species go for a lot more than that. And maybe in an upcoming video, I'll show you some, 500-year-old koa, that an area that burnt down in Hawaii from the volcano. It came from that area before it burnt down, and I've had it for years. But so some things may not have started out rare, but they become rare. And the thing about species of wood, you got to be careful. You got to know what you're buying, and that's why you really want to watch videos and learn from some of the luthiers out there that can really teach and guide you in the right direction, and understanding the species of wood and what you're buying. You don't want to buy a single A top. Somebody sells you a single A top when they said that, oh, well, it's a triple A top, only because they know that you don't have the skills, or they've assumed that you don't have the skills based upon how you're talking, or how you started the conversation with them. Next thing you know, they charge you 4 or 5 times more the money for a piece of wood. I mean, you really got to ask questions. You really got to deep dive into it. Now, to me, how well figured it is, or flamed it is, or whether it's curly or whatever, has nothing to do, with the sound of the guitar. It has everything to do with the aesthetics of the guitar, but it has nothing to do with the tone of guitar. I've seen some of the plainest tops sound the greatest in acoustic guitars. I mean, just blow your mind, make the hair stand right up my arm. So just remember that, you know. Be wise, ask questions, you know, take it slow. And like I said, learn the basics of the tools that you need to use, because if you really don't understand, you know, tool functionality and the upkeep and how to resource things, you know, different types of woods or different types of stains or lacquers or finishes or types of sandpaper, you know, the types of planes that you might need, or what is the best type of blade for cutting wood. I mean, those are the things that you need to sort out and you have to figure out. Now, the most expensive doesn't not need necessarily mean that it's the best just because it's expensive. Um, that's not always the case. And, you know, the luthier that taught me over in Germany many, many years ago, I seen him build guitars with all hand tools and never use sandpaper. So, you know, I learned from the old school guys, and it came out just as nice. Just as nice as if you use sandpaper. He just didn't believe in it. He slapped my hand one time for using sandpaper. I brought it in because I bought it on post. He's like, get it out of here. That's not how I'm teaching you. I was like, kind of embarrassed. But, you know, I wanted to take the easy way out because I didn't have the same patience as I have today. But, and does that make a difference? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. You know, I don't know. But I thank God that I ran into a guy like that, you know. He taught me probably the way that he was taught, you know. And the biggest thing that he taught me is always have patience. Don't rush it. If you're in a bad mood, don't do it. Wait until you're in a better mood. Wait until you're in a better frame of mind. You'll be thankful you did. All right, guys, take care. I hope you learned something from this video. And I hope that you pick up the journey, the hobby, the profession of guitar building or string instrument building. It's fun. But I will say, start off with a solid body. Don't start off with acoustics because, man, it can be rough. I mean, I'm not telling you that you can't. I'm just saying it's much easier to start off building a slab, you know, solid body than it is to get into acoustics. When you get into acoustics and classical guitars and violins and cellos and things of that sort, it's a whole different ball game. You know, it's very technical. It can become very, very technical. But I would say, you know, explore your horizons. Don't let me stop you. All right, take care. God bless. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon. It's Pastor Bob. I'm out of here. See ya.